Glad to be back here. It's always a treat. Sometimes I do some comedy stuff, and sometimes I do some poetry stuff, so I'm going to do that again, because this feels like a sometimes, and that's nice. So the only joke I'm going to do is, I don't know, it's kind of funny, it's okay. I'm not going to bob you guys off your feet or anything. But I find it interesting. I feel like there's a difference between men and women when, sorry, we're only talking about Caucasians, so
nice to meet you. Anybody
else, you can follow along. When you look at a group of Caucasian men and a group of Caucasian women, I feel like it's easy for someone to point to the group of women and say, you know what, I think that one has the jungle fever. I think she does. I always think it's really easy for a group of women to like look at another group of women and pick them out. But I feel like, you know, thick thighs, they're bobbing a lot. I guess I can't really think of any way right now. They have glitter on their jeans. They probably have pink headphones. They get their boobs signed by rappers. Those ones are the easiest to pick out. But with men, you can't ever like pick one out. Well, they look like me, so that's all. That's the only joke. I have jungle fever. That was me just defining it for you in very obscure terms. So congratulations to me for that. Alright, I'm going to do these two poems right now. One of them is from a few years ago and I just decided to find it, and the other one I wrote when I was sitting at a table over there. So I'll do the new one first. Here we go. I fell falsely through your lonely eyes, a rock and roll statement. A cock and bull statesman unlocking cold basement doors to your hatred of faking a faith in everything basic. Everything wasted away by your patience, replacing embracements with graceful mistakes. It takes two tangled up in the blues bands to catch a case of them, and fetch and chase lovin', or leave a taste of your fragrance right beneath his face, or fragrantly saddle up with men twice his age, with fast cars and sad jobs as the ones in your face. When you're earning the ability to sleep at his place, keep at his side, steeple his grace, feather a deck of cards and sleeve up his ace, dig deep inside yourself and cheapen his space, creep at his pace of the arrogantly tumorous, consumerist race. It's humorous enduring this elusive, misplaced pursuit of passion, curing insatiable urges with inescapable fashion, but with a last-in-line type of attitude, the happy to be there, but it's half past that time type of gratitude, added to the degrees of my latitude, like planting a garden below dump trucks of rabbit food. It's a savage youth cramming sugar into cavity-tattered toothaches, breaking back habits like two things, Atlas reaction to the tragic your truth sings. That was that one. This one's nice and long, and I hope I can remember it, considering the one I just did. Stranded on the intersection of anger and pity, his glazed eyes glare at life and skies never stop weeping. In a world where the sun shines seldom and grass grows brown, where trees stand leafless but won't fall down, he frequents a store with cases of self-loathing, and when drained with his neighbor become replacements for clothing. And it all starts with one bottle, two lives, and a third hour passes. Four blue eyes see three, no, two empty glasses. With one thing on both minds, the clock creeps slowly, tick, zero inhibitions. She's drunk and he's lonely. And it's at this point that buttons become puzzles and slurred words become struggling tongues, battling one another in a blurred muzzle, and saddle up one above the other, seeing double, ignoring the trouble that waits with the night's brother. And she wakes up sooner than she wishes. Like the bottom of the sink under the most neglected of dishes, she feels the weight of being used and drained. Her shirt screams from underneath the bed, I may be dirty, but you're stained. And I don't think it's ever coming out. And I don't think he's ever waking up. At least not before the door closed tightly behind her, its laughing lock and its self-righteous creak, a tenuous reminder with a peak they can, a final reminder that with a peak she can find her dignity lying dead on the other side. One half-empty bed on the other side of 3/4 of a man washed ashore in a cotton tide. Hours later, eyes just wide enough to realize that what he lies beside is vacancy. And with a handful of complacency, he takes his tree and shakes it, freeing up the space where his conscience used to be. And there's one pattern, and too many nights that have followed it. Her dreams shattered like a hollow shell without a chick, crackling every time the bulb is lit. And with every step she'd like to sit, and wishes that her lungs will quit with every breath that hits her lips. And her hips have become little more to him than the contours keeping cotton off his floor. And her tits have become little bores to him, and he wonders why he bothers anymore. And he looks at the door, and sure enough she left her purse again. And he peeks inside for a 5 or a 10, but worse, he finds a mimicked rhyme and a blood-soaked pen. And it ends with these lines. It all ended with these lines. One heart, too heavy, 3 pills for every tear she cried. Before you part this door, take 3 deep breaths and kiss twice the one lying dead on the other side. And she who was once a little whore to him is now fast asleep with angel's eyes. And I don't think she's ever waking up. And I don't think it's ever coming out.